All right, looks like the final video. This has been over 3 videos explaining this entire quiz. It's a pretty long one. Practice quiz, that is. Let's move on to the next question. This is video 3. Number 19, it says, which of the following equations is perpendicular to y equals 3x minus 2 and passes through the point 6, negative 1? Okay, well, so we will have these answer options here on the as multiple choice on the actual quiz. So notice that we have both point slope form and slope intercept. So let's take what they give us and write whatever we feel more comfortable with, okay? So they indirectly give us a slope. Now, why do I say indirectly? Because they tell you that your line is perpendicular to this line, and this line has a slope 3. So if they were to say that our line is parallel, then our slope would be exactly like that. It would be a 3, but it's saying perpendicular, which means that it's an opposite reciprocal slope. So opposite, and then flip the 3, reciprocal of 3 is 1/3. So they're indirectly giving us the slope being negative 1/3. So what else do they give us? They give us a point, which is 6 and negative 1. That's your x1 value, your y1 value. So they give you a point, they give you a slope. You could use point slope form. And of course, when you use point slope form, use it with blank spots and then plug in the values that you want to use. So in this case, we're plugging in the y1 value of negative 1. That's up here, the negative 1, right here. And we're also plugging in the x value of 6 right there. And the m value is negative 1/3 that we plug in right there. So now we need to change the minus minus to plus plus. And pretty much, this is your equation that is perpendicular to that guy and passes through that point. The question is it written over here in point slope form? Do we have a y plus 1? Y plus 1, yes. We need a negative 1/3, that's not it. Y plus 1, negative 1/3, that's not it. Y plus 1, nope. So it's not there. So don't pick none of these yet because it might be written in slope-intercept form. So let's change this point slope form to slope-intercept before deciding that it's none of these. How do we do that? Well, let's take this negative 1/3 and distribute. Negative 1/3 times x, it's negative 1/3 x. Negative 1/3 times negative 6, it's going to be a positive 6/3, right? 1/3 times 6 is 6/3, but 6/3 reduces down to 2, so that's really a plus 2. I'm going to erase the 6/3. So that's 1/3, negative 1/3 plus 2, and of course we have a y plus 1 over here on this side of the equal sign. So for my final step, subtract 1, and that'll be your answer. Y equals negative 1/3 x plus 1, and that's exactly what this is. That's why when you check your answer, this is the correct one right here. Okay, let's move on. Right here, they're asking us to write the equation of the line that passes through the 2 points in slope-intercept form. So once again, let's write down what slope-intercept form is. It's y equals mx plus b, and the b value is your y-intercept, the m value is your slope. So what do they give us? We need a m, we need a b. As a matter of fact, we could actually write that down. We need a m and we need a b, okay? Do they give us an m or a b? Well, indirectly, they give us an m because they give us 2 points, right? And what are points? They're an x value and a y value, an x value and a y value, and you should have your slope formula memorized, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And your first point, xy, we're going to call that x1, y1. Your second point, 4, 6, you're going to call that x2, y2. Okay, and now let's just plug in those values into the formula. I always say rewrite your formula with blank spots and plug in the y2 value, which is 6, the y1 value, which is negative 6, the x2 value, which is 4, and the x1 value, which is negative 2. You see, by putting these minus signs before even doing the problem, you will not make the mistake of the signs, because a minus minus must change to a plus plus and plus plus. So what is our slope? Really, our slope is 6 plus 6 is 12, 4 plus 2 is 6, and 12 divided by 6 is 2. So our slope is 2. So far we have half of what we need. We still need the b value. We already have the slope. Okay, so what do we have now? We have some points and we have a slope. Now we have more than one point, okay? But the bottom line is you do have a point. You actually have 2 points, and you also have a slope. So if you know you have a point and a slope, you might as well write it in point-slope form. Okay, what is point-slope form? It's y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. And of course, when you use this, please rewrite it with blank spots. Y minus blank spot equals blank spot parentheses x minus blank spot. And you could plug in your x1, y1. x1 is -2, that goes over here. y1 is -6, that goes right here. And of course, the m value we already know is +2, so put that right there. So it says write the equation of the line that passes through those 2 points in slope-intercept form. If they would have said point-slope form, then this would be good. But we know that they want it in slope-intercept form, And that's this guy right here. So does this guy, which is in point-slope form, look like that guy? Absolutely not. But we could actually change it by doing some math. Now, what do I mean by doing some math? I'm going to take the 2 and distribute, but before distributing, the minuses change to plus. All the minuses change to plus. And then I'm going to distribute 2 times x, that's 2x. 2 times +2, that's +4. And then you bring down the equal sign and you bring down the y plus 6. Okay, so now the only thing left to do to write this whole thing in y equals mx plus b form is to get rid of this 6 and move it over here. So let's do exactly that. Let's subtract 6. You can't really take away 6 from 2x, so you could only take it away from the number. So what do we have left? We have y is all by itself equals 2x minus 2. 4 take away 6 is -2. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your slope-intercept form equation that passes through these 2 points that's in slope-intercept form, okay? I'm not sure if this is a type in your equation. If it is, don't type it in with any spaces, no spaces, just y, no space equals, no space 2, no space x. Type it all in like that. Or if it's multiple choice, you should see that exact equation right there. Let's move on. This one says write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Once again, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And the m I always do in blue, the b I always do in red. So we need an m and a b. You're going to love this one. This is one of the easiest ones to do because in order to find the m, all you got to do is count rise over run. So you got to find 2 nice points. So here's a nice point and there's a nice point. If you want, you could use this point right here and that point right there. You don't have to. I mean, you could also have used this point right here. That's a nice point as well. But any points that you want, just count how much you rise and how much you run. So if you do rise 1 from left to right, you're going up. So +1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. So the slope is +4 over 1. The b value is simply where it crosses your y-axis, which happens to be right here, okay, which is the value +3. So now that you know your m and now that you know your b, you could actually write out y equals 4x plus 3. Y equals mx plus b. And ladies and gentlemen, this is your answer. This is your equation that is represented on this line, okay? I hope this helps. I apologize for the long videos. Good luck on this quiz.